Thank you for joining in on this stretch video today. If you have a yoga strap, we're going to use that first. If you do not have one, you'll just do the arm movements. I'm gonna get you set up by wrapping this around, hi by the way. You're gonna wrap this around your hand, just like this, all right? And then the other side's gonna move smoothly through your hand. So I'm gonna start with shoulder flossing today. So I'm gonna reach my arms up, and if you don't have a strap, just reach your arms up and bring them around. So if I didn't have my strap, I would be doing something like this. With the strap, or one hand is kind of connected with the strap, the other one is just letting that strap move smoothly through it. So just a light grip. You're gonna allow your chest to stretch out quite well. So you can use more length, so widen up your hands as you come around. If you have a little less mobility through the shoulders, if you have a lot of mobility and you need a better stretch, just keep them a little bit more narrow and feel that out. So we're gonna do that for a few more seconds. We're gonna foam roll at the end of the session today. So if you have a foam roller, you can get that handy. If you don't have one, you can definitely just move on after this video without rolling, or get a roller. All right, we're gonna start by standing at the top of our mat, feet side by side. We're gonna inhale to sweep our arms up, and exhale to forward fold, reaching down towards the toes. You're gonna do this at your own pace for a few breath cycles. So inhale to come up and then exhale to forward fold, trying to create some space in the back side of the legs, so hamstrings. Your breath is so key in the movements, the poses. Inhale. On your exhale, really try to relax and stretch. Rolling up slowly, you're gonna step back with your right foot. Step right back with your right foot. You're gonna connect into your right hip flexor for warrior one. So you're gonna reach your arms up, and now pivot your back foot slightly. And there's your warrior one pose. If you're having a hard time getting into that position, just keep your foot straight back. This is called high crescent. But you can slightly pivot out that right foot and get a different stretch in that right hip. We want to keep that right shoulder facing forward. So for like this, we may not feel like it, we may not feel much of a stretch, so rotate, basically trying to wrap your right shoulder forward and then your right hip bone slightly forward. Strong step to the front of your mat to release. Another inhale, reach up, exhale, forward fold. Meet me in a standing position in Tadasana. So just standing mountain pose. Step back with your right foot again. We're gonna go through this one more time. Inhale, sweep up, high crescent. And then transition into warrior one. Strong step forward to release that pose. This time, take your right foot, cross it over the left foot. I T-band stretch into the upper hip, roll forward. Letting your head hang heavy. Roll up slowly. Do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward. Trying to keep your feet somewhat flat on your mat. Bend your knees if you have to. And then rolling up slowly. Feet side by side. Take your hands to the back of the hip bones and just draw your elbows back in a little mini back bend. Release your hands by your side. Step back with your left foot. Starting in high crescent, inhale, sweep up. Now slightly rotate your left foot and maybe inch your right foot forward a little bit, heading into your warrior one. Keep holding that. I'm gonna come a little closer and just show you the position that I'm in right now. So I have My right foot slightly rotated forward. My front heel's aligned with my back heel, and my arms are up. So there's your warrior one, or you may be here. Keep holding for 3, 2, strong step to the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to forward fold, reaching down. And just roll up slowly and try that again. Step back with your left foot. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Slightly rotate out that left foot. Bend your right knee. Bringing that left shoulder forward. Strong step out of that stretch. Now take your left foot, cross it over the right. Deep breath in, and exhale to forward fold into your other side, IT band stretch. So you should be feeling this through the right side. You can bend your knees as much as you can or need to. Hips square to your mat. Roll up slowly, and let's do that again. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Roll up slowly. Feet side by side. Take your right foot all the way back. We're going to head into warrior 2. So slightly rotating out that right foot forward. So slightly rotating that right foot forward just like we did in warrior 1. Come into warrior 2. We're going to flow through exalted warrior. In through. So flip your left palm. Exalt the warrior. And then in through triangle. So straighten your left leg. And then come on up with your right hand. This is your sequence. We're going to go down into warrior 2. Flip left palm. Exalt the warrior. You don't have to follow my exact pace. And then straighten the leg and windmill into warrior 2. I repeat, it's triangle. Let me rephrase that. Triangle pose. Come back to warrior 2. So at your own pace right now, we're going to flow through this sequence for a few breath cycles. Flip front palm, exalt. Straighten front leg, triangle. Into warrior 2. Just doing this at your own pace right now. Too much coordination, no problem. Just do your thing. And then I want you to meet me in triangle pose. If you're already there, just stay there. If you're just starting a new set, just work through it and meet me in triangle. So staying in that triangle for 5, 4. Take your right hand to the back of your right hip bone and try to open up that shoulder a bit. Now look down at your left foot. Pivot your right foot, come down into runner stretch. Now a strong left leg is needed. Inch your right foot in a little bit. Come up into your high crescent right hip flexor stretch. Straighten your left leg. Strong step to the front of your mat. Excellent. We'll do it on the other side. You're going to step back into your warrior 2. So step back with your left foot, slightly rotate it forward. Bend your right knee. So I'm just going to flip around so I'm here with you this way. So we'll flip our front palm, which is our right palm. We'll come back into exalted warrior. And then we're going to straighten our front leg and head into triangle pose. Just take the first few a little slower, just feeling out the depth of your stretch, where it needs to be. And then come back to warrior 2. Flip front palm. And now I'm going to let you flow through that for the next minute at your own pace. Make sure you're setting up into warrior 2. So set that warrior 2 up because you may actually go a little deeper in every one. And I want you to meet me in triangle pose when you get there. And just breathe. Opening up that top arm, that left arm comes nice and open. We want to draw the left shoulder blade down our back. We don't want to shrug through the neck. We want to breathe. Inhale, exhale. You're going to pivot forward. Look down at your right foot. Pivot your left foot straight forward. Right foot is straight forward. Left toe straight forward as well into the runner stretch. One side might be a little tighter than the other. Hold nice and strong, but relax. So you don't want to be just falling into your poses. We want to actually lift out of those joints. Inch your left toes in just a little bit and come up into high crescent, left hip flexor stretch. Strong step forward to the front of your mat. Release your hands by their sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to forward fold. And not everybody loves downward facing dog, so you can just stay here and do a few more. Inhale, reaches up. Exhale, forward folds. Otherwise, step back into high plank and push back into a downward facing dog. Paddle your heels up and down, one heel at a time. For those of you who love a vinyasa, come into high plank, into chaturanga, not for everybody, upward facing dog, and then into downward facing dog. And meet me at the front of your mat. Stepping, hopping, walking forward. We're gonna roll up, take our hands above the head, and actually take your hand to opposite elbow, just like this as you're standing. And now what I want you to do is lean over, soft knees, lean over to your right. And then lean over to your left. Come up to center, arms come out wide, take a quarter turn, face the front. Feet out nice and wide, and you're just gonna move from side to side. Spine rotation. Come back to center. Reach forward fold, reaching down, letting your head hang heavy. Now I want you to take your toes and rotate them inwards. So you're gonna feel that sensation through the outside of those calves. Softening your knees helps lengthen out the hamstrings and doesn't strain the knees. Staying where you are, if you wanna add on, left hand stays on the floor, right arm comes up. And if you want a little bit more on this stretch, take your left hand and wrap it around your right calf, or your right ankle, or your right foot. Come back to center, straighten out your toes, slightly bend your knees, and roll up slowly. Arms come out, spine rotation. Come back to center, forward folding. This time our right hand stays on the floor, rotate your toes in slightly. And now take your left arm up. If you want more with this, take your right hand to the outside of that left calf. Bringing your hands back to the center of your mat, toes forward, bend your knees, support your low back as you roll up using the strength of your hips. Good, feet side by side. Perfect. Inhale, lengthen your arms out. Exhale, bring them in. Do one more time, hold, and forward fold. Inhale to halfway, lengthen your spine, come up halfway, and then exhale back to fold. Sweep your arms all the way up and take a quarter turn to the top of your mat and release your arms. Step back with your right foot. Take your hands on the back of the hip bones and just open up through the hip a bit more. Reach your right arm up and lean over to your left. and strong step out of that pose. Left foot straight back, hands on the hip bones, then lift the left arm straight up and lean over to your right. Come back to center and strong step forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to forward fold. For those of you not doing downward facing dog, just simply go into child's pose or meet me sitting on your mat. Otherwise, step back, high plank, push back, downward facing dog. Lift up your left foot, open up your left hip. Place that back down. Bring your right foot up, bend your right knee, open up your right hip. And then we'll all meet seated. So bring your knees down, sitting up nice and tall. I want you to draw your feet in towards one another and scoot your way up into your butterfly stretch. And breathe. We're going to move into our hip openers, glute stretches, that is. So we're going to lie onto our back. You're going to place your right foot on your left knee, and then bring your left heel a little closer in towards your left glute. Cross everything over to the left side right now. So I'm going to repeat that. Right foot onto your left knee, and cross everything over to the side. And if you're still not sure, I'm going to give you a little different view on this one. So your right foot is here, like so, and I'm going to cross all the way over to the side. And I'm going to hang out there with my arms in a letter T and breathe. I'm going to come up out of that stretch, keep my right foot where it is, but bring in my left leg now for figure four. So now I'm stretching out my right glute, and I may need to move my hips from side to side to feel out what the best position in the stretch is for you. So sometimes I need to bring my hips over a little bit to really feel the right hip stretching. So let's soften through our shoulders a bit more. We're going to release our feet to the floor, and you're going to windshield wipe your knees from side to side. If that doesn't agree with your knees or anything like that, just tuck your knees in and kind of rock from side to side that way. Let's place our left foot on our right knee and cross everything over to the right. So I'm going to rephrase that. Left foot is now on the right knee. Right foot a little closer in towards your right glute, and then cross it over. You can bring your arms out into that letter T, or just simply place them where they're comfortable. Do me a favor and really relax through your fingertips. Relax your biceps, so allow the back of the arms, if possible, to rest onto your mat. And then slowly bring the legs back up, making sure the hips are nice and square. They're not twisting, they're not shifted over to one side. You're gonna bring your right leg in and relax through your hip stretch. Easier said than done to relax in this. Relaxing through the shoulders. If you're needing more of a stretch and you beat me to it, you can take your hands onto the kneecap. Now fine, does it work better in your stretch to feel it more, to come from side to side, to go a little bit to the right, maybe a little bit more to the left, maybe a little bit more center? And then release your feet to the floor. Lengthen out your legs all the way out. Reach your arms over the head and take a deep breath in. Exhale. Tuck your knees in towards your chest bone and cross your knees all the way over to the left side. Stretching out through that low back, stretching out through that upper hip. Bringing the knees back into center, cross them over to the other side. Now do that again. You're either going to do the exact same thing, or maybe you want to take your right leg, kick it out, and extend it. So if I were to give you a better view on that, I'd cross it all the way over like this. And then I'd kind of go from side to side where I take my other leg over and cross. So I'm just taking my hand to my calf muscle and I'm pulling it over. This works really well with the yoga strap, but again, we can just use our hand for now. And then try one more time on each side. Some of you may have your big toe with your peace fingers connected. So peace fingers, big toe, and over. And then try it one more time on the other side. Tuck your knees in, and then lengthen out that leg. So your bottom leg is lengthened out slightly. Try to soften it though. It gets really, I want to say, you don't want to have it resisted, so just relax through that bottom leg. And honestly, just going to what your range of motion is capable of. And then rolling it slowly. We're gonna head into child's pose, so flip around onto hands and knees. Before we go into child's pose, I wanna go through a low back mobility work, some low back mobility work. Hip bones from side to side, just like this. And then anybody that wants to throw in a downward dog with that, so downward dog, and then come back to center, and then hip bones from side to side. Resting into child's pose, bring your knees hip width apart or more and sit back, lengthen out your arms. We're gonna thread the needle. You're gonna take your right hand and bring it underneath the left arm and look towards that right hand, stretching out through the mid back and through the back of the shoulder. And then to the other side. And then just coming back to your child's pose, and you can end the stretch video there. Or if you have a roller, you may want to try some of this foam rolling stuff. IT band rolling. So I like to fold my mat up for a little bit more elbow cushion. I'm going to take my bottom leg and place it on that foam roller. My top leg is bent and over that bottom leg. Now I'm going to roll up and down. You don't want to roll over the kneecap itself, but you can go down fairly low to where that kneecap is. Now find a sweet spot, or maybe they're all sweet, and you're gonna rock forward and back, over and back. And then find another spot and do the same thing, rock forward and back. And then just do a few more regular up and downs on the roller and release. Switching to your other side, and when I say other side, it doesn't matter which side you're on right now. I am instructing just bottom leg on the roller, top leg over top, and start going up and down. Find a spot and roll forward and back, forward and back. Try another spot where you think needs a bit of attention, a pressure point. And then roll up and down again. And release. Lying on your foam roller, so your head will be supported on there. Your whole spine will be in connection with the roller as well. So make sure your head is fully supported and just bring your arms out to the side, opening up through the chest. Deep breaths in. And big breaths out. Hands by your side. Move from shoulder to shoulder, massaging through your upper, mid, and low back. Not too far over from side to side, but definitely where you can keep your head supported. And then come back to center and draw some circles. Come around. Then back to the I surrender chest stretch. Releasing your hands by your side. Coming off that roller smoothly. And if you have a stretch strap, a yoga strap, I want you to grab that. Wrap it around your toes, your feet, as you sit up tall. We're gonna finish off this stretch with 3 forward folds seated. So sitting up nice and tall, wrap that strap around your hands lightly. Deep breath in, inhale. Exhale to your forward fold. Soften your knees as much as you need to, opening up through the chest. Let's do the second one. Inhale, sweep up. Lengthen your spine. Exhale to forward fold. You may find that you are wrapping the band, the strap around your hands more. Maybe your hands are on your feet. Maybe your hands are underneath the knees. Maybe your hands are almost at your toes and the strap is just giving that little extra support you need. So you may not have this yoga strap or need it, but if you need it, use it and embrace it. Inhale, sweep up. Lengthen the spine, exhale to fold. It's not cheating. Using props is not cheating. It is very helpful, actually. Rolling up slowly. Draw your feet together. Inch your way forward until you're comfortable in that seated position into your butterfly. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. I encourage you to just lie on your back for a moment and just relax and just embrace that stretch video. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you had a really nice stretch out. I'll see you next time.